Good afternoon. Hi.
Hi.
Good afternoon, everyone. I've just opened the chat. Welcome to everyone who's joining us. Welcome to Time for Life, Jay.
Thanks. I'm so excited to be here.
Honestly, I'm very excited, very hyper today. So,
Yeah.
looking forward to talk to you. So, everyone, I'm just going to tell to the people who are joining us, Time for Life is this hour that we do here on Sick of This Shit publication. Shout out to Nick Perro, who is our publisher for this podcast. And we try to take some time away from the doom and gloom because we all need it, right? so, so we're making time and space for discussion about joy, and we try to have. Well, we do have very cool guests and friends from this Substack community. Jay today, our very good co-host and friend Beth, is not with us because she will be traveling, so she might end up in the chat at one point. We'll see if she gets Wi-Fi. So, but we're thinking about her very hard, and we love
Yes.
that.
Miss
So,
you, Beth.
yes, we miss you. So, Jay, hello, please. Well, I said it again. Welcome. So, I would love to ask you to tell us about yourself. And guys, I apologize. Sometimes it's going to be like blah blah. It's because I'm a French Canadian, and I am sometimes going, what's how do I say this again? Like,
Yeah. What's the
just
English
bear with
word?
me.
What's the English word? Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Jay. I am a lot of things, but I have a Substack here.
Like that.
I am currently on a medical leave from my job. I have fibromyalgia and a couple other disabilities, and I am uh, doing a lot through creativity with my healing and my joy these days. Yeah, that's uh, a little bit about me, I guess. I live on beautiful Vancouver Island, BC, in Canada. I am one of the dubbed emotional support Canadians, which I have. I will tote the beautiful,
I
one of my
love that
favorite
mug.
mugs.
I have
Yes, I
one,
know
but
it's
I am going
backwards,
to
but
plug my water bottle.
yes, I
It's
love
the
that
Time
water
for
bottle
Life
too.
water bottle. So,
Yes, yes. I so living in Canada and in the beautiful nature and wonderful inspiration around me. It's yeah, that's what I do.
Jade, thank you for introducing yourself. I'm just checking out, trying to say hello to everyone who are saying hi, hi. Don, Roberta, Stacy, Christy, Danny, Ryan, Julie, Edelweiss, Janet, Emilia. Nice to see you.
Hi
Our bad
everyone.
new world. I like this. And also Beth. Beth just joined. And Beth, we just said that we
Hi.
were missing you, and we're hoping that you were able to join. And yeah. We already have a question. Roberta, I saw your question. What sort of exercise do you do to promote healing? One thing that I will keep it in mind. There is one thing that I wanted to add to everything Jay was saying is that I feel that we have a lot in common. I also have fibro, so I just hear a lot of the things that sometimes you just feel like if your body's on fire, then you have to find a way to either, you know, cool it. Well, I don't know how to basically explain it, but yeah, it's hard to just, the link between body, mind, emotion, the feelings, the sensations, the pain. Yeah. So, and you're right. I mean, I think it's going to be quite an interesting topic because we all have different ways to deal, well, to take, I could say, take charge of our healing. But I like, because guys, when I asked Jay, I was like, so what brings you joy? And she was like, creativity. But I was like, that's such a broad subject, and like, so please tell me about what you meant by that.
Sure. It's actually funny. So like The way that my life has gone, I've always been considered an like intellectual, smart, like, math, science, I could do anything kind of thing. But I really have always had this creativity bubbling in the back of me, and anybody that actually knows me knows that that's a huge part of me, but never really saw it until recently. And so for me, it's been such a new and such a wonderful kind of rediscovering of almost like my creativity as a kid, you know?
I was
For those
about
of
to
you,
say, I wanted
yeah,
to interrupt you and ask you, like,
yeah,
was it there when you were a young kid or a child, and from as early as you remember, because I mean, yeah, when we try to explore our past, you're like thinking, who was that child? What drove you? Like, it was like almost an impulse, like, you'll grab a pen, or you'll go run
yeah.
outside, or like, what was Jay like as a kid?
Well, I was the oldest, and I was the oldest girl of all my cousins and everything, and I was the oldest my dad's side of the family. So, I have the eldest daughter thing, where um, I take charge. Even as a kid, I was always organizing everyone else around me, but like I I loved telling stories and I loved
We're so alike. Sorry,
creating. Yeah, I
we're
loved
really alike.
creating like worlds and stuff. And I can remember whenever the cousins were together, my grandfather loved to use a video camera, which those of you who are old enough remember in like the 80s,
Yeah.
because I'm a Xennial or whatever, where I'm like between Gen X and millennials. And my grandfather had this giant, like, the one you put on your shoulder kind
Was
of
it a JVC or something?
yeah,
That
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, with the big like microphone on it. And I would every time organize a talk show. Like
Mm.
I was uh not like a Jerry Springer, like, but like an actual, I mean,
You mean
like
with your cousins
Oprah.
and
Yeah,
your
with all my
friends, or
cousins. Yeah, the people in the neighborhood and the cousins at my grandfather's house, and we would sit there, and it wouldn't just be like I wanted to like create the show. I would also make the poster for it. You hang it up in front of, you hold it up in front of the lens and stuff like that. So um, I always had these big picture things and all of the little creative bits about it that I really loved. So, um, and of course, all the cousins were always annoyed, rolling their eyes at me, like, all right. But yeah, it was always fun for me to look at those things. And when I wasn't being forced into a role where I was like helping or like, watching children, um, I was always in my little world. I loved The Secret Garden as a kid, and just was an avid reader. Like you couldn't force me to go to sleep. Just read and read and read. So, yeah,
are you my twin? It's
I
rare that
know.
it's rare that I mean, I've said that once, I think, to someone. Anyways, long story short, but I mean, I just same. I mean, I would read a lot. I mean, I think at one point my mom even said, like, if your eyes are getting worse, it's because you're always reading in the dark and you should read less, and blah blah. Anyways, so
Oh,
reading,
that's
when you're
cute.
eating, checking the cereal box,
Yep.
borrowing
Yep.
my books and my
Yep.
mom's total of books, so I could have, like, not five but 10, for example, at the library.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah. Well, my
so
teacher in grade 4 had us do like a competition for number of pages read. And like by the end
oh
of the year, and mine was something crazy like 3,800 or something, and like the closest person was like 176 or whatever. Like it was just I was
yeah.
also always teacher's pet, so you can imagine I was, in school not very beloved, I suppose. But
Well, it's because you most likely were, not in the same well, I'm trying to find for the right expression, but you definitely had interests that maybe not all of the kids, um,
Absolutely.
like I'm not saying, yeah, but so right away, stories. So reading and creating stories.
Mhm.
Um, what about, would you do some like theater, or would you like
Yep.
try to
I started playing the violin at 3. So I was always playing at least one instrument. I started piano, I think, when I was 5. I was in junior orchestra when I was 7. And then I guess like I started doing school band stuff. So I played like the trumpet for a couple of years. And then I played clarinet for a couple of years. I did drums briefly. Like, yeah, I just musically, that was a big thing for my family. And then I was put into dance when I was like 3 years old, and I did ballet, and I did tap slash jazz, and I did modern dancing.
tap
Not
dancing, like almost like with Irish dancing, or close to?
no, like just like Broadway tap dance,
Oh, cool.
just
Well, like,
like coordinated dances with a bunch of people. So that's actually the thing, this dance that I probably did the longest was tap, mostly because in my area that was the teacher that was available at like more advanced levels. But I loved the precision of ballet. And later on,
how
I
many
danced
years did
until I
you do
was
ballet for?
I danced until I was about 25. I won't say that like I did it very seriously starting probably in my 20s, but like it was always a part of what I was doing, which kind of led to also Pilates and yoga, and like a love for that kind of I mean, I guess it's still body expression,
Mhm.
doing
Absolutely.
those types of things. And then yeah, I mean, uh writing and creating stories. My first story that I can remember making is that a friend of mine was a good um artist. Like they drew well for their age. And we together made a book called How the uh, How the Snake Got a Forked Tongue. And I wrote this story. I mean, it was kind of a gruesome story. I think I was in middle school or something, about how like their arms got cut off and legs, and I don't even know. But like, it was always just that I not just like to write stories, I like to talk. I
Mm.
mean, I know that's not a popular thing for people to like admit, but like I really like to talk. I like to tell stories verbally. So it's actually interesting. So by profession, I am a registered therapeutic counselor in Canada. And one of the things that I was musing on with my supervisor was when I first decided that I wanted to do this work, I thought that there was going to be more talking for me. Like, you know what I mean? Which is really, really funny. I mean, I love it for what it is, and it grew into this wonderful thing where I love listening, and I'm much better at listening now. But like, that was my reflection. I was like, I really thought counseling would include a lot of talking for me, and it's not. It's not the case.
Well, having done a master's in psychology, I absolutely hear what you're saying. No, it's you have to develop. I mean, we actually had classes on active listening, which
Hmm.
is, you're kind of
Same.
talking a little, but very little.
Yeah, you're reflecting
Or
back.
just like,
You're validating. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
or finding the right, like exactly the right moment to say the right thing, because it's gonna anyway. Yeah. So, but yes,
Yeah.
it's listening work. You're right, Laura. That's what Laura said. Hi, Jandro. Emilia
Yeah.
said that she love you because you said I like to talk. No, we can
Yeah.
say Hefin here. And yes, I think that a lot of people in the chat uh, certainly sounds like, um, I was about to say, because I know, there's a few people that I'm saying a few, most of the people, the names I've seen in the chat, we know.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things in common. And if you haven't been in this chat before, welcome. Welcome to Type for Life. Don't hesitate to say hello. People in the chat are usually pretty, open and just, there's usually a chat going along as we talk. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this is
I'm
what you got to do these days. Talk to your guests, but also at the same time keep, track of what's going on. Yeah.
absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have to have the chat on a different screen. It's weird.
Oh,
That's okay.
same, same. It's a
I've got to
skill.
figure myself out. It's a work in progress, my setup, but that's okay. It's part of the fun, I feel like. But yeah, the visual art that have liked to do most of my life has been sketching. I really liked to sketch with pencils. Um, and I actually, my university slash adult journey to what I want to do has been quite a thing. And one of the things that I did for a while was in university was theater.
Mm.
Um, it I had a radio show for a couple of years, like 2 a.m. radio show. Gosh, I used to just live at night. I don't know about you. Like just like
In
nighttime.
university, I'm not sure
Yeah.
because I would study better in the morning. But yes, I would usually need a lot of time to just um, think of something else, do something fun. So I guess I didn't
Yeah.
sleep much. Yeah, but yeah. So
Yeah.
you did a radio show on the campus?
I did radio for a little while, but I did not make the academic cutoff for the to get into the communications program. And
Okay.
I would have had to take it again. But at the time, am I frozen? At the time, I was such a perfectionist that I just would, if that happened, I would be like, well, the universe is telling me not to do this. Like I would just go on. So the next thing that I chose to do was theater. And I did the lighting tech program for a little bit. But what I really loved doing, what I almost went into, was costume design because I love to sketch costumes. And as soon as they
Mm.
properly taught me how to do proportions of the body, I was like, yes, this is awesome. So
Well, Minutes
a
is
lot of that.
actually sketching right now. She says, totally sketching while I'm listening.
Oh,
We got a lot of sketchers,
that's
I think.
great.
There's Neuro also who does doodling. Is that it? Doodling
Yeah,
or yeah?
yeah. No, she's making this beautiful um, bubble
You have to
artwork.
explain to
Yeah.
me what happens when you use, because you told me like healing. You're using creativity as a tool to heal, or
Mhm.
was it no? So someone asked a question, made
Yeah.
a link in my head, and now I'm
Yeah.
asking you.
No, no, it's true. I mean, I think that creativity in general unlocks this part of our brain that just can be less judgmental and can be more passive in the way that we're like feeling and whatnot. So yeah, for myself, for clients, like I think that it's really important um, to do that. And I mean, there's a lot of advantages to just doodling and whatnot in the corners of your you know papers and things like that. I mean, I don't know, I just feel like it kind of connects you to yourself, you know?
Is there something
Yeah,
about um, just could we compare it to meditation? I, I
absolutely.
I know about my thoughts, but I want to ask
Yeah,
your
yeah,
thoughts
yeah.
about it.
Absolutely. I mean, mindful art is such a great thing. Like you can um, use it to uh, kind of block out all the thoughts,
Yes.
and really just concentrate. That uh, it it's sort of like exercise in that way, where you can, how like if you're being physical, you're concentrated on kind of what you're doing. You have to be, because what if you trip, or what if you this, or what, kind of your survival things. But it's this kind of the same way with creating art and drawing and things like that, of creative expression, because you're concentrated on that thing and you're kind of passively letting things work out for yourself, so yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of interesting ways to do it. You could do it intentionally, but sometimes, you just do it, and it can lead you to good things. Sometimes I like to do it when I'm looking for space for myself, with like an answer or a direction that I'm going in. If I'm getting too jumbled, it's nice to do that. And I mean, I also do that with writing, and things too. Yeah.
Playing an instrument gives your brain a full body workout.
That is also the case. Yeah. I mean, music, I think like for me, like creative expression is really a broad thing. Singing, dancing, moving your body, speeches, talking, like there's just so many ways in which we can express ourselves and help ourselves. So yeah, playing an instrument, is also a great way to do that. Singing, I know you like to sing, so
Yes.
I do as well. I just don't do it yet. I don't know.
I've been
Um,
feeling actually these days, I'm like, gosh, when am I going to take time to do like either another karaoke or record a song or whatever, another
sure.
karaoke? Because it's like, so yesterday I was like, so I put music in the car, just like totally took my mind off things. I think that it's usually with music, it's like your thoughts are not structured and they wander and they go in all directions. And then eventually they
Yeah.
sort of get to make some sense. It's usually when I have my best ideas, or, not when I like consciously try to make sense of something I can, but when I
Yeah.
kind of like just get okay and try to just so it's really weird to express. Like I wasn't like I didn't play an instrument, but what you described, I did a lot of drawing as well, so I do remember, like, you're just focusing on the line, you want to have that perfect shade, so it's like your thoughts are just going like in all directions, but they're really not, just, you're just focused on that one thing, and then where you want to, what you saw, so yeah, I'm having a really hard time talking today. I don't know why. So I'm
It's
just,
okay.
I think it's because it looks pretty bad outside. Like I think we're gonna get a storm or something, but
Oh,
it
yeah,
could be
yeah, yeah.
that. With fibro, you feel humidity in your joints, and
Definitely. Yeah, I have migraines as well, and so whenever I'm a better barometer than the Weather Channel, that's usually what my daughter says.
yeah, I.
Um,
I'd say there are days I'll definitely know it for sure, but there are other days I'm like, what's happening? And then I look at the air atmospheric pressure.
Yes, that's really it. Yeah. Yeah. That's and it's an unfortunate part for us here, on the island. Today's actually the first day in quite a while where we haven't had smoke in our skies, which is, makes everything darker.
Mm.
And that's pretty typical for us in August. Usually not until later August, but it really this summer has been quite like we haven't really had summer. And I mean that's okay because I mean I know a lot of people in the world right now are having too much summer, and
Yeah.
I would much rather, but it's a weird time. It's a
Are
weird
the
time.
fires actually under control or not? Not yet.
Um, we don't have any fires in the island right now, but BC is still in a state of emergency. I mean, and I think that they just recently evacuated. Gosh, I should know this, but there's a Summerland, I believe. Is that it? They have started to get evacuated every year. So
That's
it's unfortunate, but yeah, it's always been a part of living in BC, dealing with the fires. It's just a lot more now,
mm.
unfortunately.
but
But
but climate change doesn't exist, right? Doesn't exist.
what? Yeah, gosh, it's just accelerated so
It's
much.
just
But
we see it. It's so obvious. I mean, people they're just blind. It's insane. Anyways, I'm just.
agreed. Or they all live in Florida. Sorry, people living in Florida.
It's like, yeah, but even there, it's got to be so much warmer.
It's true.
All the
Yeah.
storms, all the fires. Anyways, we're off our
Tornadoes.
creative
Yeah.
topic.
Sorry. We're not talking about creative stuff anymore. Yeah, like I just yeah, I just so I was talking to you a little bit before the show. Like my daughter is in now going into her second year in university. She is living here, but I was a single parent, and I had like one mission for a really long time. And now I've started perimenopause. I'm, you know, uh, at a weird place in my career, and just um, making the time
Mm.
for the creativity, and like you said, like kind of giving your brain a way to just process things and get through these things, because like I don't know who I am anymore. And I mean, not in a sad way, kind of in an exciting way. Like, what do I want to be in this next chapter of my life, which is really exciting. And so for me, processing some of that through creating art, creating music, creating
Talking here
whatever.
because it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
We're not doing
yeah,
therapy, guys, but it is, talking certainly helps to, you know, doing those associations,
absolutely.
like those thought processes or, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've loved being on Substack. I adore this community. I see everybody in the chat. Hi. I do, like, there's so many people I can't even start to name them, but like I appreciate them all so much, because during this time, um it's so great. Like as an adult, it is so hard to make friends. It's so hard to put yourself out there, and I feel like COVID happened and that made it like 10 times worse, right? And I
Mm.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I love being in my house. I don't want to go out. I don't want to do things. I mean, I have chronic illness and stuff, so I have an excuse, quote unquote excuse or whatever, but like it really affects me not having that interaction. So using my creativity and finding other creative people that love to talk about this stuff like you, and
Oh yeah,
um,
it's
everything. It's
amazing, and
amazing.
um, just to talk quickly about Substack. I mean, I've been on Substack for about a year and a half, and it's like, you'll have periods where you're like doubting, you don't know where you're going, you don't know what you're doing, and then it's like, oh, I feel good, oh, I feel, oh. But I mean, look, I keep coming back, so obviously
Yeah.
something's working now, and
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Well, and with my leave and everything, it's like in the back of my mind, I need to learn to monetize, I need to whatever, but like I'm just so caught up in the awesome community. It's so hard to come to the conclusion of what I have to offer, because I know I have a lot to offer. It's not really about that. It's more just picking, right?
Yes.
And I am such a professional cheerleader. Like if my world could consist of just lifting everybody else up, and like in some over the top ways sometimes, even like I would love that, but it's not
I get
really
that. I know what you mean.
mainstream.
I mean, I think that the whole going into counseling or, psychology,
Yeah,
social work, I mean, you have to like helping other people because it does help you. It makes you feel good knowing that, you've changed. Just sometimes it's just a little thing, that made the person either realize or made them smile or, just giving them a moment to breathe. Like that is very, because people are like, oh yeah, but that's selfish. Like, no, no, no. It's just rewarding, and it's
yeah,
okay. I mean, it's you're making, you're focusing on others, but at the same time, it's definitely, yeah. I know there's a lot of people, they have different opinions about it, but I'll
yeah,
always be the cheerleader, like you say. It does. I mean, there are research, I mean, that prove that, like helping someone is going to help you, not help you, but necessarily, it will make you feel better because you've helped
yeah,
someone. So, I mean, why not do
absolutely.
it?
Yep. I mean, that's I my master's degree is in adult education, and I have done a lot in the education field. I went into it to be a corporate trainer and came out of it being a breastfeeding educator. So, uh, you
Not the
know,
same thing, eh? The corporate
mm-mm.
leaders and the tiny little.
Yeah, so it was I was doing finance, and I thought, I had graduated with my uh, bachelor's, which took me a million years to get, and I was didn't really know how to live outside of school structure. So I was like, what do I go to school back to school for? And I had done a lot of teaching and a lot of teaching assistant work in their instructional technology department. Because for those of you that don't know, I'm a huge computer nerd. Like I've been playing
I apologize.
video
My cat is
games.
having a breakdown behind the door. I
Oh,
hope
you're okay.
I'm
You're
not
okay.
gonna have to. Anyways, yeah, I might let him in. We'll see.
It's okay. Yeah, so boy, I'm gonna lose. I think I lost my train of thought. I don't know
We
where I
were
was going.
talking about
Um,
tech, like you
oh
were
yeah,
saying
so
that,
I
like you
did,
like
yeah,
computers,
bef
and like it's
before,
what is there
yeah,
something like that's creative about computer work? I mean, I try
yeah,
to think of it like,
absolutely. And like, so I love to build desktop computers from ground up. That was always really funny. And that, like, that is a technical way to be creative, I feel like, because you have to research a lot about what components you want and then you have to put them together. But I also think like video games can be, even playing video games can be a bit
oh,
creative.
were you a big like video game players when you were a student, and are you still playing games? I have to ask.
Yeah, I did esports before esports was a thing. Like I would travel and go to LAN parties with my big honking computer and play funny first person shooters. And through the years, yeah, like I was on like I used to play Counter-Strike a lot. That was my biggest game competitively. But I transitioned to things like World of Warcraft and a couple other popular things and played that for a long time. And it was creative because you always had things to decorate or do, like, outfits or whatever. But there was also like a primary function that I could like practice it, getting better and better and better at. And I do raids and groups and things. And and like it was a huge part of my life. And I've been working at home for, I mean, really pretty much my whole adult life. So it was like my daughter would go to sleep and I would get to play and I would get to be amongst people and talk and have something to work on, something to move towards. Unfortunately, though, I have had to have 3 surgeries on my dominant arm.
Hmm.
So I've had two on my hand, one on my arm, and the second one on my hand was a
Ow,
reconstructive, and
ow.
I mean, I could relearn entirely with adaptive uh, equipment, but I just, kind of like how I left first person shooters because my as you age, unless you're practicing it real like hours and hours, you lose your reactive oh, I'm forgetting what it's called. Your reaction time goes down, and so you stop being able to really be competitive. And then after being what I was doing and at the level I was, it was just too frustrating. So I kind of had to stop playing video games for a while. So in a way, Substack has kind of filled that hole for me,
Yeah,
really.
and I can imagine
Um,
too, like if you're, well, I can only see like with the microphone and people talking, and so it's kind. I mean, it's not the same, but we're
yeah,
definitely being social in that way, because
yeah,
I haven't played games online with other people where you could use a microphone. When I was a student, I'd played Diablo. I remember that. But back then,
yes,
no, no, like you said, just go on quests, get the gold, sell your
yeah.
stuff, blah blah blah. But yeah, uh, I think that what I like most about video games is, you're right, when there's a thing, that a part that can be creative. So these days, I like to say I'm playing God, because I've downloaded the Sims free play. I love the
Oh,
Sims, where
nice.
I mean, I played so much when I was a student, like a college student. I think like I had a cemetery of all my Sims who died, So I had like
So
legacies.
fun. Yes,
So
yes.
yeah.
Right now, I do uh, coloring on my tablet. So, this color by number apps or whatever and like mergey things. My daughter
I
keeps
have
trying to get me to
I use
play something else.
Color Tap Pro or something. That's what I play.
Yeah,
It's ding,
yeah,
ding, ding.
exactly, exactly. Yeah. So I do that kind of stuff to relax, and especially when my arm is really bothering me because doing art right now has been a transformation. Can't
Did
really
you
get.
was it can I ask, was it an accident? Like did you just
No, I actually developed benign cysts all over the place. So, um, I had a common cyst, which is like a ganglion cyst in my wrist, and got that removed.
oh
Um, Not really that big of a deal, but then I was in my other life, I am a amateur sports official and was doing organizing an event, and I went to push the chair in, and my middle finger bone shattered.
oh
And we found out that there was a bone cyst that had eaten away the entire bone, and that all I would have had to do was hit my hand on the, like barely tap it on the side of like on a wall or something, and it would have just shattered. So
ouch,
they had to
ouch.
do um, reconstructive surgery, and they had to take bone marrow out of the site where they did the ganglion cyst. And so basically, I've really poor range of motion in my wrist, and then my middle finger is weird. People think I'm flipping them off all the time, but I just
Sandra
can't.
was asking, ganglion
Mm.
cysts? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'm
General,
sorry,
that's
General, you have a
exactly.
bunch. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm sorry too. They generally don't need to be removed unless they are causing you pain or discomfort. And a lot of times, I think that um, mine was pressing directly on the nerve, so they decided it would be good to to take it out. But then last year, they did some testing, and I had my ulnar nerve, which is the nerve that goes like all the way down to the outside of your hand. So if you don't have an anatomy background, it passes through your funny bone. And for me, I had scar tissue there that was compromising that. So I lost a certain percentage of the ability to use the outside of my hand just forever because nerves are weird like that. And then
Are you
they
right or
what they did,
left-handed? Because it's
I'm right-handed, so they moved my thing from here to here. So like my ulnar nerve is on the other side of my arm on this hand, but that's pretty much the nail in the coffin. So I can't always really use my right hand, which is another complication with work and all that kind of stuff.
well,
And
especially because if you, I mean, can you actually write? Um, you can't write precisely anymore, right? Or is it like
I'm
how?
slow.
Okay.
I think that that's the biggest thing is that writing is slow. Um, Having to use the mouse is probably the biggest
Oh, really?
trouble for me. Yeah. It it's interesting. It's also very unprecise. So like if I'm typing, we've all been typing for most of our lives. Type, 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 you're not even thinking about it. My finger just won't press the button until after the other finger. So it's like the processing of it is a little slow. So,
Wow.
I mean, it's a lot. It is. It's a lot of different
That's a lot
ways
of
to do things.
adjustment after
It
you've been,
is.
I mean, like you said,
Yeah.
working on the computer for so long.
Yep.
And
Yeah, so this is the big struggle right now, and part of the reason why it does give me so much joy to do things like what I do on my lives on Sunday, which is just kind of like, let's do an art.
you
Like
have
I don't.
to, I have seen it quickly,
Mhm.
but I have to say, usually on
Yep.
Sundays, I'm with family or doing
Yeah.
whatever. But so please tell me about your shows on Sundays.
On Sundays, I do what I'm calling right now creative body doubling, but I might rename it. I'm not really sure. The first project that I did was actually this,
I
the
remember asking
underside.
you about what do you mean by creative doubling? Like, for me, I was
Yeah,
like, that's an
yeah.
expression I was not familiar with.
Well, the idea would be is that like if you were doing true body doubling, it would be that you and the person that you're with would be showing up together with things that they're doing, or maybe someone's already doing a thing and you decide that you're going to do it along with it. We naturally do this regardless of being neurotypical or neurodivergent or anything. A lot. It also can be kind of related to habit stacking. I don't know if you've heard of that, but the idea of adding like a habit that you don't like that you're having trouble doing to something that you already have set in stone. So, like for instance, for me, I try to habit stack around my like brushing teeth because I always brush my teeth. So if I can expand that always to one other thing, it's kind of like that sort of idea where you're using external forces to get tasks done.
Oh, I understand. So it's kind of like you're, oh, I know what you mean. So the
Yeah.
doubling, it's kind of like, oh, I'm doing this, which I don't have a choice. So
Yeah.
might as well kind of match it with this. Is that what you mean? Like,
Um, that's more like it's more like I just can't get myself to fold the laundry. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an appointment for my friend to come over to the house and hang out, and they have an assignment that they can't get done. So I'm gonna fold laundry.
oh,
They can do the assignment, and then we'll be done. So there's got to be accountability generally,
so
and
bud, it's like there's a word for that for kids, a buddy, like for
yeah,
example, a homework buddy or a,
exactly, exactly. And like I mean, we use all these newfangled words and catchy phrases that work on the internet and stuff, but I mean, it's all stuff we just naturally do.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just that sometimes, especially for neurodivergent people, it's
Mhm.
something that has to be named and you have to intentionally do it. um
Being with someone, working on a task, and being with the person gives you motivation. That's what Amelia wrote. So yes.
yeah, exactly, sorry. Words. But yeah, no, that's exactly it. And I'm seeing in the chat that people haven't heard about habit stacking, so
How
gosh,
Jandro is folding his laundry.
yeah,
Good
exactly.
job.
You know what? I body double against people on Substack all the time. I will be like, Soso's going to be on at this time. Okay, I am going to say at this time, I'm going to make dinner. Or I'm going to say at this time, I'm going to replant that plant. So you can do it by yourself, but it's always nicer to do it in person. Before I knew that it was, um, before I knew it was a term,
Mhm.
one of the reasons I decided to do it was because when I worked at a tech company I was doing data analysis, and it was very hard when I first started to really get into tasks because they all seemed so hard and so like, oh my gosh, how could I possibly know how to do this? And so, what I started doing once I got better at the job was I started offering office hours for people. Now, my office hours for people on my team, because it was a remote team, they
Oh,
would come
yeah, that
in.
would be a challenge.
Yeah,
Remote work.
they would come in, and it was basically posed as I will answer your questions, or I can model whatever, or even if you're just trying to learn something, you can let me know and I will do that thing. Little did they know that that was my time as well to get things done, because I always do things so much better when I'm explaining them to people. Like I am just a natural teacher like that. So people would come in, they would say, I have this problem, I'm struggling doing it. And I would say, okay, I have a task like that too. Let me get it done in front of you. And I would put, screen share and have them do stuff. So I always found that so beneficial to me and so beneficial to them. There were some people that would just come hang out with me the whole time, and we could just kind of talk through, or even just complain. Sometimes that's all it takes to get something done, is to have someone hear you say, "This is the dumbest task I've ever done," or "Why are we doing this again?" or whatever, right? So, um, when I learned that there was a trendy thing called body doubling, I was like, exactly, this is the way you do life. You
This
just
it's kind of like we're already doing it, but that's the name.
Yeah, exactly. And part of the reason why I may take it out of the name is because it is a little confusing. For traditional body doubling, you need to have the accountability both ways. and I don't want to perform it for everyone. I mean, I want everyone to know about it. So I'm glad that that's becoming a term that people are understanding a little bit better. But I think I have more than that to teach people. You know, I have more than that to help.
I am going to put your, I mean, in case people, if you Jay's name should be at the top left of your screen. You can subscribe, but I'm also going to put in the chat the reference to your Substack. So
Oh, thank you.
there we go.
Appreciate that a lot. Yeah. And I'm apologies. Whenever I'm a guest, I have a horrible time keeping up with chat. I unlike mine where I'm all over my own chat, but
No,
just
that's
scrolling back a
okay.
little bit.
That's okay, guys. If you
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of time left, but we do have some time. So, do you have
Yeah.
questions about creativity or other question for Jay?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, they're talking about bedtime on the porch. Yeah. I
yeah.
come
Shout
every
out to
once in a blue moon.
bedtime of the porch. I
Yeah.
can't go on very often because it's pretty late for me. It's nine
It's
thirty,
very
and
late for
we're
you.
talking
Yeah.
about being in bed. Like usually, by 9:30, I'm in bed. And if I
Oh,
go into a
absolutely.
live, I must not be in the chat because I'll end up chatting. Like I just can't. Then I get hyped, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
usually it's better for me to watch it afterwards because then I can't chat, you know. So, but I do love seeing them. They're so much fun. There's
Absolutely.
Julie,
Yeah.
Rose, Lisa, Nero's often there. Sacred
I fall
storyline.
asleep in them sometimes. Like I used to do this in Stefan's uh karaoke chat thing. I would just like log in and I'd be like, yes, this is great. And I would compliment every song and then all of a sudden I just fall asleep. Just like wake up and my thing is open. And so yeah. Oh, Amelia is asking, what do you do when you have a creative block? That is a great question.
And I just saw
Um,
another question too. We have to address how to be creative about time management. So there you go, Amelia first, then a
oh yeah.
minute boost.
Um, yeah, basically, like when I get a creative block about something, I feel like I am I have a lot I have a lot of things in my brain all the time. So creative blocks, like I jump from thing to thing. So if I'm really blocked on something, or if I'm not, it just means I must move on to the next task. I mean, I think that um,
But do you
where
go
I
back? That's
struggle
the thing.
more, yeah, where I struggle more is going back or completing. So like I have the brand of ADHD that starts a billion things and can't get past 75% on most of them. I mean, I have kind of frozen up with my writing, in fact. I don't know why I can't seem to publish anything that I'm writing. I am writing, everyone. It's just not necessarily being seen. And I think that that's its own type of creativity block in some ways. However, I think that, I mean, it's kind of a crappy answer, but I think that doing another creative thing sometimes clears me up for that kind of block in whatever I'm doing. um
It's the
s-
motivation to try to go back to finish,
yeah.
depending if it how much of a priority it is for you. But
Exactly,
I
exactly.
think
And it also depends on what the purpose of it is. If it's a creative thing that has a goal, or a creative thing that maybe has a time limit, then that's kind of a little bit different than if it's creativity for creativity's sake, which is for me most of the time.
Daphne is right. Perfectionism can be such a huge creative blocker.
It really is. It really is. And I tell myself just to do it. But you know, I've talked about this before too. It's a term that not everybody is up on, but my rejection sensitivity dysphoria, which basically I just perceive literally everything as a threat all the time. So for me, um, I will get very caught up on who am I offending? Who am I going to offend with this? Who's
Oh,
going to think that? It 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 is like this could be a great article, and it either goes one of two ways. It becomes my own therapy because I start raging about something and then I'm like, oh, this is way too personal and nobody cares about how mad I am about this. And then, you know, if I don't know, if it's, I'm gonna lose my train of thought because that's what I do. Beth loves it when I do this. I will just be deep emotionally in a story, and then it's like somebody slammed the door in front of me. I'm just like, what was I talking about?
Well,
Uh,
I'm supposed to
it's
be
okay.
somewhere, but it is
Yeah,
about like we were talking about the way that creativity sometimes, if you're too much of a perfectionist, then it can create a block. And then we
right.
were talking about how sometimes also having the rejection dysphoria, how do you call
Yeah.
it? Also,
Rejection sensitivity dysphoria. Yeah.
sensitivity dysphoria
Yeah.
can also play a big role, I guess,
Right.
into.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
follow the train of thought right
Right.
here.
Well, yeah, because, oh, I
I
was
grew up
saying,
with
I get it.
people who were like me because I'm hyperactive, but I don't have the
Yeah.
attention deficit. But I am hyper, so I can follow like like people just going
So
around in
good.
circles, and usually I'm able to go back. But I used to just grow up with my friends. We're all like that, like, and it's like you're just one day you're like screaming horses, and then what? Where's the chicken? And I
So,
try to follow the story, but you do. So go ahead, continue.
no, I think I was saying that like I either do that or I start to think to myself, um, who like who is this going to offend, or gosh, do I use this word or that word, or wait, am I forgetting a population, or I kind of get like that a little bit. So some of my best live or my best writing comes in lives when I'm outraged about something, and then I write a lot of good stuff. So,
Well,
yeah, I think it's also a direction problem for me with my writing and with Substack. I'm not sure. It brings me so much joy to get these things out there, but like, where am I? I have so many things and so many specialties and so many things that I've done, so
multi-passionate. That's
exactly.
a
Yeah.
term I learned when I listened to one of Brendan Elrich's live.
Oh, I love his videos. They're so
Yes,
cute.
and I found that makes sense. Like, having a lot of passion. So of course you can jump from one thing to another, and it's yeah, it's. And now I'm trying to be focused because he's asking me a
Yeah,
question. I'm like, I don't know I'm not sure what we're talking. But
which thing?
Daniel
Yeah,
says that
no,
he
who
was
knows?
glad to hear about RSD named,
Yes.
and I
And
think for a lot of
Amelia,
people.
absolutely. We need to talk. We need to sit down and talk. I know that I said that a while ago, but we need to. We have a lot in common, and I would love to do a live on rejection sensitivity. I think that um it's a big barrier for me at my real job. Um, you know, uh, I work in a industry and in a job where everything is moving faster than humanly possible, and you can't possibly always get everything right. So there's a constant stream of this could be better and that could be better. And sometimes that just sets me off the edge. And it's actually an interesting thing because I talked to people on my team right before I took my leave, and it's apparently happening to everyone. And I thought it was just me. So I'll just put that out there, people. Anyone that has rejection sensitivity, like ask around in that community of people, whether it be like a friend or work or whatever, like maybe it's happening to more than one person. Maybe it's not you, maybe it's them. So yeah, it's a real thing. And I mean, you can do some real work in that area too, like therapy wise, about where that comes from and why it is for you, or where that kind of, I don't know, like original hurt happened, and trying to reframe that and see it from other perspectives and stuff like that. But sometimes it's just so baked into you that you can't. And the better thing is to learn coping strategies. My big problem is that, not just in rejection situations, just in general, I have no filter. So sometimes I just say shit. Sorry, excuse me, say stuff.
That's okay.
Okay. And like it just comes out of my mouth. And like sometimes it's great because I advocate for people a lot. I get a lot at work from people going, gosh, no one's ever spoken up for accessibility, and like that's kind of my jam. Like that's I always find my way onto those committees at work about different accessibility, whether physical or for mental or any of that kind of stuff. And I really like um, believe in that stuff. And so I guess also a little bit of joy for me is being able to be an advocate and still kind of having enough of me that can, I was in a training couple, well, now a couple months ago, I suppose. Gosh, time is weird. And it was for change management, if anyone understands what that is. It has to do with project management because I'm also a PMP.
A what?
um a project management professional. Like I have my designation for that. My I think I'm
Jay,
gonna let it
there's
drop.
so many, like right now there people are going into like the rejection,
Yeah.
sensitivity, growing up, diagnosis, anxiety. Anyways,
Wow, this is really.
I'm just saying because I'm looking at the time. It
Oh
is
yeah.
true. There's, and I think I saw Amelia mention either a panel, or I don't know if you guys want to get up on a Zoom, or
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I guess at first, also, it doesn't have to be live. If people just want to,
Yep.
just because at the same time, and we were talking about filters before, you know,
Yes.
not everyone. It is okay to not just put your whole life out there on social medias. Some
Absolutely.
people have want to
Absolutely.
remain more private, and that's absolutely okay. And
Yep.
other people, they take that step. I mean, it took me weeks, I think weeks, months before I showed my face on Substack. I first I wrote, and then now I can't write because I just like just going
Yep.
so you'll find your path, you'll find your what makes sense to you. But making a note, if you guys want to, I don't know, I'm saying you guys because I'm saying like
Yeah,
there's
yeah, no, I run some stuff offline with my counseling practice too. So like I have all the tools to do that. If you're interested, let me know. I am happy to come on lives and talk about it. I am happy to talk to you behind the scenes. I am happy to put together groups. I think that some of these topics are are things that people are suffering with and that are underrepresented as far as support, and even just a space to be like, what the hell is happening to me? Kind of,
yeah.
because there are tools and there are ways that you can find that space to pause and to be able to kind of calm yourself down, where your actions don't necessarily have to represent the chaos in your head. And
Oh, I like that.
I
I
feel
love that.
like,
Your actions
yeah,
don't have to represent the thoughts in your head, the chaos, or yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
hear
Well, and
ya.
some people don't understand. I mean, some people are not um, given that vital information, and like for people like me who do have no filter and who has a hard time, especially when tired or in pain or whatever, containing what I'm saying, it can feel like there's no way out of it. It could feel like there's no way to represent it, but sometimes it's simply a matter of telling the person you're talking to that you experience something like that in
Yes.
language that they don't just roll their eyes at or be like, "Oh, okay, whatever," like, we I don't know, we need to stick together.
Yeah. And I think this is what we're doing. And I'm just repeating myself, but the wonderful people in the chat, I mean, they're
Yes.
all, they have ideas. Thank you, Neuro. It's really nice. Yes, I'm happy to do a stream with Jay. And we were saying earlier,
Mhm.
Neuro, that also Beth, we're missing Beth today. She's on a traveling for a family. Anyways, I'm sure she'll mention it later. But yes, so she's going to take care of personal stuff. But we miss her and we like her so
Yeah.
much, and we love you, everyone. To thank you for sharing your ideas, your thoughts. Jay, I'm going to ask you, what will you do to make time and space for life and joy soon? Because it is, you have 30 seconds. No, I'm just kidding. Take a minute. I'm
Oh, I
putting you
you
on the
know
spot.
I'm going to continue to doing what I'm doing, and I am going to um, continue to work on my perception of rest.
Mm, rest. It is
Yeah, because
important.
I think there's a lot of different types of rest. And I think that creativity, for me at least, is one of those types. So I think that that's what I'm going to do. Yep.
I think we could
But
add a whole other hour to discuss rest and pacing,
yes,
because that's what I've been doing now that school, like, oh, there's yeah,
yes,
yes,
absolutely.
pacing.
Well, a whole other part of me that I'm possibly going to start exploring on Substack, and I know that we need to go, but the
Okay.
whole the, it's the spirituality, faith kind of energy work. I've been a Reiki master teacher for 15, 20 years, and it's not something I make very public, but I also use a lot of those tools in my creativity and just in general. I actually record a lot of guided meditations and different voice work. So, hopefully,
Ooh, I know someone who would be well, anyways, this is why people like us end up talking to each other. I mean, we have things in common, and
and
yes,
I'm so thankful for that. I am so very thankful.
and very thankful to the guys, everyone in the chat. Gonna go quickly.
Yes.
Lisa, thank you for
Yes.
coming.
Thank you, community.
I'm gonna also say a big shout out to Lisa for her bedtime on the porch. And at one point, Lisa, I'm inviting you on your porch. I don't know when, but I do have a porch too. It's just gonna be late, and it'd be fun that I could use it before there's actually snow and I have to close it. But anyways, I'm just saying, because there was something we were discussing at one point, and that would be fun. So thank you for
Yeah.
joining. And what else do I want to say? Oh my gosh, I can't believe there are 87 viewers. Maybe not right now, but a total of. So we're
Wow.
very, very grateful, guys. Um, and honestly, Jay, I am going in all directions now because I feel like there's so many things more that I could talk with you about. But it's been
Yeah.
great. And I mean, I feel like this whole discussion was creative because we just like followed our train of
Yeah.
thoughts, ideas, and I'm really glad you're on Substack, friend.
Oh, well, I am so thankful to have met you, and I'm thankful to all the people in our community and in this chat. I
Yes.
really appreciate you showing up and being there.
And you know what? That is very good, Amelia. Thank you. What happens next week? Emilia is going to be our guest next week. So Emilia's
Oh,
in the chat. And
yay!
thank you for joining us, Emilia. We're going to I'm looking forward to find out what brings Amelia joy. I kind of have an idea,
Can't
but
wait.
I won't spoil the surprise because I need to ask her first what she wants to focus on. So,
Well, I'll be
yes.
tuning in, I'm sure.
So we're going to say bye-bye to everyone for now. Thank you for taking time to be in this chat with us. You have a great week. And this sounds repetitive, but I'm going to say don't forget to take time for life because that's important. So bye, everyone.
See
Handing
you
the
later.
stream. I'm always looking for those. Where do I close the
The
button?
button.
Bye. Stick around.